Hi there, it's Evelina back with another art update. It is the 19th of July and I've been doing a little bit of research on fairy tales and fairy stories, and I have found my artist. No, but I found an artist that I can relate to, not in like in just the aesthetics, but actually what they're trying to do. And it turns out it is J.R.R. Tolkien. Um, I was quite shocked by that. Um, but I guess he does make these wonderful, fantastical worlds, and maybe I should have seen that coming. But I found these wonderful things. He wrote like a book that is called On Fairy Tales, on fairy stories. Sorry, I haven't read this yet, but I've read some paragraphs and quotes and stuff about it, and I think I need to read it. But yeah, one of the things that I really am pleased to find is that him also being a Christian, it kind of makes me feel less bad about the comments that it's that my art is slightly pagan, because I never felt that way about it, and he doesn't either. So obviously, being a writer can put it into much much better words than I. But yeah, he also talks about how fairy tales, like the joy of discovering fairy tales to be both true and retain its mythic importance. And yeah, it's amazing. I think I have this quote from it, because basically Tolkien says that this joy looks forward to the great catastrophe. The Christian joy, the Gloria, is of the same kind, but it is preeminently high and joyous, because this story is supreme and it is true. Art has been verified. God is a lord of angels and of men and of elves. Legend and history have met and fused. The very idea that God entered the world and changed it is mythic, according to both Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. But in contrast to regular myth, the myth is true. Um, yeah, he puts it into such such a way that that I can relate to. I mean, he also talks about kind of the act of making this secondary world, as he calls it, and they have this. Oh, I love this quote. This is also from the On Fairy. This is from the On Fairy stories that I mentioned. What really happens is that the story maker proves a successful sub-creator. That would be me. He makes a secondary world which your mind can enter. Inside it, what he relates is true, in accordance to the laws of that world. You therefore believe it, while you are, as it were, inside it. The moment disbelief arises, the spell is broken. The magic, or rather art, has failed. You are then out in the primary world again, looking at the little abortive secondary world from outside. To make a secondary world inside, which the green sun will be credible, commanding secondary belief, will probably require labour and thought, and will certainly demand a special skill, a kind of elvish craft. I really like what he's saying about creating this other world and this kind of magical, fantastical world, and obviously he made it through his writing. and now I'm trying to do it with my art. So yeah, I do kind of feel like a sub-creator and trying to create this believable world or elements from it. That's with my sculptures, mostly elements from them. But yeah, it's, I mean, I can't wait to read more about all of these thoughts that he has on the matter. But yeah, I really like how he's also talking about how basically like how fantasy does not contradict reason because it always reflects the world that it comes from. So it's that's one of the views that I have as well, kind of with my art, even though some of it is a bit fantastical. It is something that I believe to be true. And so yeah, I want to leave you with this. This is probably the most fantastic quote I have ever found, and I wish I had written it. But yeah, this is what I want to do. So this is also from Tolkien's On Fairy Stories. The land of fairy stories is wide and deep and high, and is filled with many things. All manner of beasts and birds are found there, shoreless seas and stars uncounted, beauty that is an enchantment and an ever-present peril, both sorrow and joy as sharp as swords, in that a man may, perhaps, count himself fortunate to have wandered, but its very richness and strangeness make dumb the traveller who would report it. And while he is there, it is dangerous for him to ask too many questions, lest the gates shut and the keys be lost. The fairy gold too often turns to withered leaves when it is brought away. All that I ask is that you, knowing these things, will receive my withered leaves as a token that my hand at least once held a little of that gold. That is my art update. Bye.